Illuminati coming. Yeah, Illuminati coming. You know you want it. This Illuminati coming.
Learn about the full history of the Bavarian Illuminati. Adam Weishaupt, Alumbrados, Jesuits, Rosicrucians, Freemasons, and more. From the 18th century to modern day, we expose it all. That's right, it's the Illuminati comic from Donut and Paranoid American. Get yours now at IlluminatiComic.com.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't call me, I'll call you. Don't call me, I'll call you. Money stacking up, I got things to do. Getting rich, making moves, that's the cruise. Phone no silent, I ain't hearing you. Don't call me, I'll call you. Paper chasing, that's what I'm into. Busy running, gotta keep it true. Don't call me, I'll call you. I'm on the go, you know the vibe. Whipping the whip, I'm taking a ride. You hitting my line, I'm letting it slide. I got the hustlers nationwide. Running machine, counting the flags. Blowing my phone, I'm chasing a bag. Hanging on top of the chick in the chat. I'm on a mission, I'm doing the math. I saw my wrist, it's looking like snow. Diamonds so cold, they hit like whoa. Don't need distractions, I'm stacking the dough. When I'm done, you know I let you know. Don't call me, I'll call you. Money stacking up, I got things to do. Getting rich, making moves, that's the cruise. Phone no silent, I ain't hearing you. Don't call me, I'll call you. Paper chasing, that's what I'm into. Busy grinding, gotta keep it true. Don't call me, I'll call you. Rain, but I ain't gon' pick up. I'm in the cut, gotta get my racks up. Pushing the gas, I ain't never gon' stop. Grinding so hard, I'm taking the top. Tight roll thick, pockets on swole. You hitting my line, I'm letting it go. Let it look so clean, dripping and go. You ain't on my level, you already know. Stay in your lane, I'm running the game. Phone on silent, you know the name. Make any move, stacking the change. Don't need no drama, ain't playing no games. Don't call me, I'll call you. Money stacking up, I got things to do. Getting rich, making moves, that's the cruise. Phone no silent, I ain't hearing you. Don't call me, I'll call you. Paper chasing, that's what I'm into. Busy grinding, gotta keep it true. Don't call me, I'll call you. I'm on the mission, ain't got no time. Pulling up since I'm on the grind. Phone on mute, I'm in my prime. Don't call me, I'm cutting the line. Pockets so fat, pockets obese. I'm blowing my phone, I'm chasing the cheese. I'm in the top, it's a different breed. Focus on money, I'm feeling at ease. Making these plays, running the scope. Don't need your call, I'm ready for more. Waiting on me, I'm setting the tone. When I get there, I hit up your phone. Layla hates her hotties. Oh yeah, Layla, she hates her hotties. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she hates the hotties. Oh yeah. She hates the hotties. to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves. Friday night secret society of good guys. We may have visitors that come in and out, but Thomas is not here tonight. Don't let that deter you from hitting the like or subscribe. And if you want extra credit, do go to our X channel, which is Secret S of Good G. All the links are somewhere listed in whatever chat you find, or go over to Rumble and find Project Chaney and like and subscribe. And if you like and subscribe to everybody on the panel tonight, if we go anywhere or the YouTube censors ever take us down, you will be able to find us somewhere else. So if you are a person and you're looking for a chat room, usually a lot of those amazing assholes are on the Project Chaney channel on YouTube. So if you want to hang out with the best chat on the internet,
For real.
do come and hang out. So we are here and we're going to talk about Hollywood witches tonight, and maybe Frantic Missy. If you guys do frequent X, then you might know who Frantic Missy is. If not, then it will be my pleasure to introduce you to her tonight if she comes and hangs out. But
Okay, cool.
good guys, how are you?
I'm good. You know, just, you know, smoking God's lettuce because God created it. You know,
I don't
You
like the
know.
term the devil in anything either.
Yeah. Why are we going to give the devil that power? The devil has no power. That's why he needs to use humanity to complete whatever mission that he has to complete. He has no power. We give power to this fucking being. Like, we give him all this credit. He's not.
Egregore?
Yeah, he's not powerful. He's a nothing. He's a pijimush.
He's a
He's
bougie
obedient to God. You just got to read the book of Job. It says it all right there.
Or that. But he has no power over you. You only give him power if you allow it. Fuck
No
that.
dominion.
Yeah, fuck that.
No
Who's the
dominion
devil?
here.
Like,
Do you think it's weird that
What does that mean?
yeah, what was that? Who's the devil? And then an alarm went off.
it's where I smoke my God's herb.
I thought you were like cussing and bleeping yourself out. I was like, how does she do that?
You're like,
What was
I
this
need
thing?
one of those.
I know.
You're like, is
That's
there an
kinda
app for
funny.
that?
Yeah,
Do you have a
it's this
button?
thing. Yeah, I have to turn it on and it heats up to 220 degrees Celsius and gets the herbs nice and ripe, or whatever the term is for that.
I am excited we're doing this topic tonight because I don't know how deep it will kind of go, but Hollywood witches specifically, if you've been listening to me for any period of time, you know it will trigger me as much as a mask. Like a Hollywood witch that no one notices, or a weird spell. It's like the Marina Abramovich of it all, which is the obvious, but the Oprah of it all is not so obvious. And everybody hates certain people for certain reasons, but I think these people are witches. The
Yeah.
Kardashians are not just happenstance Beverly Hills girls. Like,
No.
this is all dark magic. I
They're
don't care if Haitians are stealing pets. I don't care if P. Diddy is up to a frazzled party. They're all doing rituals, and people, it's so much to conceptualize.
Yeah.
But it seems like people of faith, like of mustard seed, or people that have figured out their own spiritual center, whatever that may be, it seems like if you there has to be a darkness to that. And other
Yeah.
people want to tap into that.
Well, I don't want to say that they're just witches. They're a type of witch. They're the dark witches, the black witches that mess with like sacrifice. They're not the white witch of like the natural magic aspect of it, or like manifesting and using your senses and your intuition to, use your magic, your own God given magic. That's your magic, your intuition. And there are other senses besides the six that they tell us about. So the magic that they practice is like sacrificial, bloodshed, soul. It all has to do with the soul, pretty much, and the blood, the soul and the blood. It goes deep.
Do you think, Abbie, like there's certain rituals that people you could stop their soul from moving on? Do you think like cutting someone's head is different than hanging them, is different than burning them, is different? Do you think each thing has like an entrapment of the soul, or something would be more godly after your death? Like you should be buried in the ground, or you should be ashes to ashes, or sent out. Is there something in religious books that says, thou shalt not, with things we like do to harm people, like a witch burning or a noose?
Not really. I mean, the Bible says that if you're hung from a tree, that you're cursed. So that way of dying, like that supposedly, so like Judas hanging himself or whatever, he cursed himself. So that specifically is listed as something like that. But people, I've had like fights with my former mother-in-law because she's one of those people who's like, it's in the Bible, and it's not in the Bible. She's never read the Bible. It's in the Bible that if you get cremated, you're going to hell. And I'm like, it is not in the Bible. Like, there's one instance of a person getting cremated, and that person was like, there was no hell in the Bible. There's Sheol, which is the underworld. And like, literally, it just, the one instance of it talking about cremation, that person wasn't a good person. So it doesn't say that you have to be mummified, or you have to be buried in a plot in the ground, or that you can't be burned, or you can't be buried at sea. Like, all those things, like, I think that really is just your own custom for your people, like, or what you feel is right in your heart.
What about decapitation? Like these kind of weird, like, certain rituals. I think certain hierarchies, certain governments, certain,
like John the Baptist was his head was served on a platter. Tell me that wasn't magic. That's like, that was a birthday gift.
Or what if it doesn't matter any of the ways that we do it, and we just try to add meaning to the ways that we do it, like beheadings or hanging from the tree. Like, maybe we create those things just to prevent people from doing certain things because it just doesn't look good. Like they create myths. Don't cut your nails in the night because the devil will come. It's like, maybe it's all
like, please
superstition.
don't hang yourself from trees because that scares people.
Yeah.
Like if you're just riding your horse through the forest and whoa.
Yeah. And a beheading a
other
person.
thing that I was thinking about in the Bible specifically, are they saying that because they're mocking Odin hanging from the tree? Like, are they saying that soul's trapped somewhere, or that soul's not going to a heaven, but it doesn't want to go to a heaven?
All does, like, the religion is all about, I mean, to all our Christian friends, I'm sorry, I was hardcore Christian, and I know my Bible pretty well, like, or I did, at one point.
She would be one of my phone of friends.
Yeah.
If I was on like Who Wants to Be a Bible Millionaire.
But
and it was a bunch of bread and fish.
And I was hardcore Christian, and I didn't think I could ever lose that. But it's not that I lost it, it's just that it evolved, and I realized that it's the whole system of good and bad. Even good and bad is those are such bullshit words, because it's all within context, right? Like, you could do something good, like, but it's really in another way it could be bad Christianity wise. Like I'm not going to steal, but I'm starving to death, so I'm choosing to pretty much commit suicide because I'm not going to steal, so I don't go to hell. So, but I'm going to kill myself, so am I going to go to hell? Like, is that really good?
Yeah.
Like, is it bad to steal in that circumstance? Like, good and bad are so subjective, and so, like, religion is really just a system of control. I really do believe this.
Yeah. like the witch burning, like, having a witch on a pole and then burning her alive. Oh, her
And
soul is
we all have to
damned.
watch that happen. I
Yeah,
mean,
That's so but I
fucking
don't think we
sick.
had to. I think we wanted to. This is a weird thing about
yeah.
humans. I think if they put
Yeah.
executions on TV, like people will tune in. It will be the most watched thing. Like if there was actually a hanging or like a public trial
Of
because the
Hollywood?
politicians or Hollywood or the news or the medical, if there was actually a Nuremberg that was more than 12 people instead of like the idea we say Nuremberg and we're just under the assumption something happened, but really nothing really happened. It was just a big long trial with a even longer name.
They're
And so
still
if
trying to fight it.
yeah, like if something real happened like a Nuremberg in America, don't you think everyone would tune in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what kind of ritual are we
Like,
all taking part
are
in?
we not gonna like watch if something actually happened to P. Diddy here? Like, you're damn right we are.
That's what won't you be watching that trial? I think
Yeah,
the world will be watching that trial.
right?
Well, let me be real with you though. When I saw that video of like, I think years ago, like during the AOL days where they were showing the decapitations of people being
Yeah.
beheaded and shit, honestly, that did something to me psychologically because I like literally threw up and became ill watching that after I watched it.
That was like what I feel like that was like maybe 10 years ago. It wasn't very long. I
More
was
than that.
pregnant. I was pregnant. It was like 11 years ago. And that was wild. Like to
Mhm.
actually see that, like see the video of that they actually were showing us that. It was like,
No, this was 20 years ago that I'm talking about on AOL days, like internet,
okay.
like dial up.
Well,
When after
the
nine
Middle East
11.
stuff happened like probably I don't know. It was I would say 2014.
Yeah, so imagine like a lot of people just tuning in and wanting to see that, and all of a sudden seeing that, and then having that feeling like either guilt or feeling bad or oh
Fear
my
and then
god.
hatred too, right?
Yeah, it's
I
a
will
lot of.
tell you, like on certain digs in like 2017, 2018,
Mhm.
like WikiLeaks digs. This is before any Anon or before any 17th letter. It was like just WikiLeaks releases, and we're finding out these names and these things, and like just being an internet sleuth. So you're like connecting an Instagram to another Instagram, or who liked a post, and then you click another thing, and then who wrote something creepy because now you're knowing all these words and these codes. And I went to some Instagram accounts that sincerely disturbed me. I still think about them. I
Mm,
still think about some of those images the same way as that one image that we both saw of the cat that
mm,
doesn't need to be mentioned from Sunday
I
night.
know.
That there's certain things that will like panel through forever. And that is like what I don't want to do with someone. I want to get so good with my words. And this was part of the reason even like of like the first season of my podcast being audio only. I wanted to
Yeah.
get so good with my words that if I needed to tell an 8-year-old the same information as a 30-year-old and the same information as an 80-year-old, I could pick different words for each of that to get them to feel the weight without having to see the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without
And
the trauma of it all.
yeah, because it's like if the idea of waking somebody up that way is like waking them up with a sledgehammer to the head while they were on a comfy pillow, just like in their world of cotton candy and butterflies. And then you're just like sledgehammer, where I just wanted to be like, what if I just held their hand and like tapped it and be like, come on, wake
Yeah,
up.
that's the better way to do it. It's planting seeds instead of like,
Yeah.
let me just rip
But
you
I was
freaking
cold
wide
water.
open.
Like I was
Yeah.
tearing the sheets
y-
off of it and throwing their
Yeah.
mattress in the rain. Like I was waking people up like that for like a decade. So
Yeah.
I don't really judge anyone for waking up people like
Yeah.
that because I think we all have to be on these certain journeys because somebody
Absolutely.
woke me up like that.
Yeah.
Like somebody screamed in my face. Like I was just playing Golden Tee. Somebody was screaming at me. And so I think like it takes all kinds. That's what kind of coach works for me. It wouldn't have been somebody telling me in a nice way. It was somebody
No.
like, "That
Yeah.
11's an inside job." And I was like, calm
Mhm.
down. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? You know, like now it's like, what's the big deal?
Damn.
Like so
Yeah.
naive until like Dick Gregory says, which is funny. Everything about Diddy coming up is all stuff you can look up in 20-year-old Dick Gregory interviews. This is why when people are like, man, it's all fake, none of it's real, I'm like, oof, you need to look up some old interviews that they didn't want you to see back then, because
Yeah.
Dick Gregory would say different, but he's also the guy that says, once you put the magic glasses on, you can never take them off. And
Yeah.
so I always, because we would be lying if every single one of us out there haven't cried by ourselves because of the amount of information that we know, and we just sometimes wish we could just be a pony playing in the sun again,
Yeah.
like, and not like, I wish I could just believe Fauci and
I believe
everything
that
he's
our
gonna
government like had our
cares
best
about
interests at
me.
heart.
I wish I
Yeah.
was stupid again.
The doctors actually cared about healing people and not just prescribing medicine.
Yeah, like
Oh,
sometimes I've been so sad, or like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people would want to hurt other people, or people would want to hurt children, or like, it's like some of the things, it's like I've been so sad that I just kind of like, that's where it's, I want to do it different, because am glad there's people around when you find the information now and you're like, oh shit, this is real. Because for all of us, they took our accounts down. So we used to have a little network or a community, and then they took it away from us. So we had during lockdown, where if you weren't playing along during lockdown, you were extra alone until you refound the tribe you created once, because they took all your accounts away.
It is very lonely though sometimes. I had this conversation with Chaney the other night, and I was so irritated that like I go to work a lot of the times, and a lot of the people, not all, there's like a couple of like regulars that come in, but sometimes it's just like, man, where are the authentic people? It's like you talk to everyone, but everyone puts on a character, and then I have to put on a character because it's my role. It's like, hi, how are you today? Da, da, da.
yeah.
So this is delicious, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, oh, I've been doing it for so long, and I'm just like, not just bartending, retail management, all, you name it, I've done it all. Like, I'm just to the point where I belong in the back of the kitchen. Nobody talk to me. Let me put my ears on, because I don't think humans are real. And there's a very few amount of people that are actually real on this planet. And that's
And
why
worth my time.
23andMe is so important. And they've tried to find who are the real people and who are not the real people. And I think a lot of us in here are like real humans on this planet. And a lot of MP fucking C's.
But
Fucking
what you're talking
retards
about, like
out there.
wearing, being the persona of the bartender or what, all of that. Like that's what like the Toltec sorcerers would call stalking yourself. It's literally LARPing yourself. Like you're LARPing the role that you play in that
Yeah.
thing.
And it hurts my soul, and I feel it, and I get irritated at work because I'm just like so over like the fakeness. Like I'm over me being fake. I can't like just I would like to be my authentic self, but to the point where it's like, yo, Layla, you got to chill the fuck out. Like I just can't anymore. Like I need realness in my life. I need authenticity, and it's just hard. That's why I'm in these places. That's why I'd rather be here than going out. It's just I feel back to normal because we're on a different level than everybody else on this planet. They could have all the
Thank
degrees in the
God
world.
for the internet.
They could have all the degrees in the world, and I still feel like when you have different type of smarts and intuition and what's the word I'm looking for?
But it's like all the levels of brainwashing,
Awareness.
MK Ultra, like
Yeah.
things that they've done to us. It's like it's traumatizing to the people that know what's going on, and it's traumatizing to the people that don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like traumatizing to both ends, and I think these sorcerers, these silver screen magicians, which if you think of silver screens and what they used to be, it'd be like mercury mirrors. And it'd be like, and it's just funny to me that vampires can't see themselves in a mirror, but how would we fucking know? Because all we have is plastic sheets on the back of glass. It's like, I just think there's certain things about lore that we've totally lost. And these, who says it all the time? Who calls them cinemagicians? I
I
feel
don't
like
know, but
it's
that's a good
Jay or
term for it.
Juan. It's one of them that says that word. So shout out to either one, you guys. If you don't already subscribe, find
Cinemagicians?
Jay Dreamers or One on One podcast. And if one of them don't say that and it's somebody else, big up them. And if not, then we just created it just now. But I feel like it's somebody else's word and I don't want to take credit. So I feel like they're doing these kind of Hollywood rituals, and then they're coming on and using their power and influence in ways to look at how they're all voting. Look at how they all said it was crazy if you thought an election was stolen. Look how they all told you were literally retarded and should be killed if you didn't play along with Fauci. Like, it just seems like they like the LARP, how you said that stalking, they're
Yeah.
doing something different. Like, they're well aware of what they're doing. They're taking their influence, and it's bought influence and probably blackmailed bought influence because of honey traps like Epstein Island and Diddy parties. So
Yeah.
then they have to play along, and they have to do little commercials where they look over their shoulder and they're like, have you ever made a racist comment? And then they all sing Imagine by the Beatles, and the first line, imagine there's no heaven, it's easy if you try. That's what all those demons want. No heaven. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like these are the little parts of that. I think nothing is for free in Hollywood. Nothing. It is
It's
all
not.
ritual. And even before you're playing along, like when you see these TV shows and the Anne Rice of it all, where the vampire's whispering from the far away, that's how fame calls people to Hollywood. That's how greed calls people to banks. That's how lust calls people to porn. And it's this little whisper far away that becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and then becomes stronger than your own voice. And that is a type of magic.
Yeah.
And these celebrities are doing it by implanting certain words and implanting certain themes, and even from the people they're dating to the clothes they're wearing.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is
Everything.
wild. Even
Everything.
I don't know. I feel like it's all tied to DNA for some reason. It always goes back to DNA, and I go to the last Q post when I think about it. And
Protect your
it's
DNA.
protect your DNA, and it's why. And now all of a sudden, the 23andMe crew with the DNA thing, it's just like something with DNA is so important that they're not telling us, and that we don't know enough about, that they know that they don't want us to know
I
is going on
really
here.
do feel like we're a genetic experiment, like us in this timeline. So let's say at the last reset, humans even looked different. Like we know that there was giants at one point.
Chimera.
Yeah. Let's just
I said
let's
it
just
right
say
that
that
time.
we're a genetic experiment. I mean, we know that they have animal DNA in all the vaccines that our children are getting now. So that might be the next experiment of it all. But what really tripped me out today is I was watching this kid do it. He was showing all, like, I didn't think double jointed was like a real thing. I thought that was just a term for when you could do something quirky. But I watched this kid do this really freaking weird stuff with his wrists today and then his shoulders. I was like, dude, like literally is double jointed. What is up with his DNA? Like, that's exactly my thought was like, what experiment is he, what batch is he a part of?
Yeah,
Like I don't
they're
think that these
doing
are genetic
something.
anomalies. I don't think, I mean, yeah, I think
It's the
that,
witchiest thing that they're doing, and they say that your DNA also changes with your environment. So when they're doing
yeah,
these,
epigenetics.
yeah, when they're doing these torture things on these celebrities, like Justin Bieber, for instance, him getting raped by God knows how many men, man, and these huge men, and God knows how fucking long their dicks are. So I'm just like, you know,
Welcome to the Secret Society of Good
I'm
Guys. If
just
this is
being
your
real
first
over
time
here.
here, this is how we roll.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
But I'm just being real because I could be real here, like I know you guys would appreciate it, right?
this is not a show for children.
But it's
So
not
it's like
just
it does something
Justin
to their
Bieber. It's like
yeah.
Britney. We talk about our girl Brit all the time here. She is a victim of Diddy.
Yeah.
Like, it run Usher, victim of Diddy. Mariah Carey, victim of Diddy. J-Lo, victim of Diddy. And some of these people, like the reason Ben Affleck dumped J-Lo so fast is because I believe J-Lo's name is at the top of that freaking list. And who would know that better than a CIA agent?
Oh, she's a bruja. She is definitely a
She's
black magic witch.
definitely. She'd had something to do with
She
Selena. She absorbed her essence
Yeah,
somehow.
she
she
did.
was the one who pulled the trigger outside of the nightclub. That's a fact.
I
And
agree
it
that
was not
too.
it was her. It was her. Like these are fucking crazy ass black magic witches. Like I was going to
Yeah.
say somebody else. I forgot the name now.
Well, we're gonna
Oh,
Kardashian.
Chandler, the hidden witch.
Rachel Chandler, the hidden hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if the hidden hand of this whole thing is always women. Because if you're 3 men walking around with a boatload of children, immediately creepy. If you're 1 woman walking around with 20 kids, no one questions anything.
It's a teacher with a bunch of kids on a
Mhm.
school trip.
Yeah,
That
it's
lady babysits a
wild.
lot of kids.
And so it's almost like these women are validation, whether it's J-Lo at a P. Diddy party or Ghislaine with Epstein. It's like these women, well, Ghislaine and Epstein are a little different because Ghislaine is actually the HBIC and Epstein's just a little bitch. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it. Like, Epstein was
He's a
always,
reptilian bitch.
he doesn't matter. Ghislaine is a Maxwell, and the Maxwells, they are, that they have the double eagle on their family crest, the double-headed eagle,
Not
like
this
behind
one.
Layla.
Not this one though. Not
It's
this one.
that one. It just has an golden, like, aardvark or
This is
porcupine
ours.
in the
They
middle.
stole that shit. These motherfuckers in power stole that shit. They took everything from our history and made it Greek. Oh, when Greek was founded in 1831. Don't give me that bullshit.
I totally disagree. I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are both CIA. I think you can look up all their movies, and I think that all their movies, they have they're like, oh, look, Ben Affleck just played a CIA agent. That's why he was always walking around with the CIA agent. It's because of this movie that he did where he was playing. Oh, Matt Damon, it's because he always played a CIA agent. Oh, Jennifer Garner, it's because she just played a CIA agent. No, they're CIA agents. Like, they're CIA agents.
There is disclosure. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand about. If you don't know a lot about magic anyway, you don't understand that they always do have to kind of disclose what they're doing. And they do. They do it tongue in cheek, and they act like they're joking about it.
Well, that's part of real magic versus a card being up your sleeve.
Yeah.
The hand being quicker than the eye. This is part of like I would like that Chris Rock slap where I would say another witch, high witch, Jada Pinkett Smith and her mom in the Red Table Talk that we all had to watch her mom and her daughter all sit around this circle, and literally what they kind of did was like just demonize Will Smith, just drag this black man. Like they wanted to take this strong black man figure and just make him look like a cuck to the world, make him sit there and look like a cuck, scold him. Yeah, it was like a whole ritual they did. And then the cherry on top was him slapping Chris Rock for an alopecia commercial because, hey, big pharma. And then we have Chris Rock right now. He was just on the Oprah interview with Kamala Harris yesterday. He also did the whole thing, good hair, and Chris Rock is sketch as F. He's best friends with Jerry Seinfeld, who also had a 16-year-old girlfriend back when, but no one wants to talk about Shoshana Lowenstein. I think that Chris Rock, he was on the Oprah interview backing Kamala Harris with Julia Roberts, another Hollywood witch. So I just think it's funny that it's the same names come up over and over again.
Yeah. Always.
Speaking of which, did you guys see Brittany? She posted in a green thong swimsuit. She was doing a dance today with a hat. Did you see a red bracelet?
Kabbalah.
Kabbalah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she was representing
technically,
today.
That's not just Kabbalah, because in our tradition, we put that, it's like an evil eye symbol, like it protects you from the evil eye, the color red.
Right.
But she's a Kabbalist.
But she is a, she said it in her book, so.
And even her, she has a tattoo. We were like looking up those sigils in Hebrew on her. That means strength. I think
it
that's
means
what she
healing.
said. Healing. You're right. Healing.
Yeah, healing.
No, you're right.
And so I wonder if that's like an actual sigil, because she talks about how they take like 8 pints of blood from her a week. Like, do they put that on her so she heals faster so they can take more blood? Because that's achrome rich with her mental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I sometimes wonder in ancient tribes or in even cultures still now, if somebody had a schizophrenia, what would they have been treated like because they wouldn't have had it forever. And then there's so many people on different podcasts that have had this one dude on where he's talked about schizophrenia being demonic possessions. But in different tribes, they might have considered it not necessarily demonic, but like they might have
Mystic.
honored it and been like,
Yeah.
oh, they're going to bring us messages from beyond when they're in this place.
Yeah.
And they might have done ritual around it, or, so I just sometimes wonder with that, with Brittany, Anna Nicole Smith, these certain celebrities that I'm like, there's something about them that in their childlike state that would induce a monster. And sometimes I wonder with the monsters that are inside these people is like the evocation of, are they necessarily chasing me, or do I have to run first? And so I sometimes think they need to break down these people to their most childlike self to create the intensity of the run for the animal monster that's inside of them. Because even though there's something reptilian that I believe in, that I don't necessarily think it's a lizard person as much as it's a shapeshift. Like you can look up into all these things, like even cartoons like Madame Mim and Merlin did a battle where they just shapeshifted at each other.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I wonder though, like all these characters that do go into these people, if they are these beings, I wonder if they're keeping record of their names and seeing if it's the same beings that are entering these souls, and if it's certain beings trying to communicate with us, like the names of these beings that they say that are in their head.
Well, that's
Because
what
they
this
never
priest
tell us
did.
that. Yeah.
That's what this one guy did. That
Really?
Thomas interviewed him. Raven and Top interviewed him. Like a couple of people have interviewed this guy. Maybe we could get him on a Wednesday night, because it's just fascinating to me, the
Yeah.
idea of schizophrenia in general, and especially if schizophrenics have higher levels of adrena.
Yeah.
I won't finish because we'll get in trouble on YouTube. But schizophrenics have higher levels in their system. Then it makes sense that if they started studying that back in the 1200s with rabbits, that once they figured this out, in my opinion, that's what every insane asylum was. From Jimmy Savile to in our country, the amount of insane asylums that shut down, somebody must have been getting close to because of Boys Town and the Finders and all that stuff going on. Somebody must have been close to knocking down too many dominoes, and so those shut down real quick across the country.
Wow. They
Well, doesn't
probably
that
kept a
almost make
record.
sense for lobotomies too? Because lobotomies, like, what would be the point of doing that? Like, you have a human walking vessel that's like incompetent. Like, are those people that they just want to harvest
Like, is
Were-
it easier for the demons to
indefinitely?
jump
Like,
in just a
yeah.
body?
Were all the cases like that, where they become just like, useless, or some cases they just like stop them from seeing or having those entities enter them? Like,
Well, when they lobotomize them, like, I think they're still fully functional. Like, they can walk
they
and
are, right?
everything. Yeah. I don't know how well they talk and communicate. It's like taking away their whole, what makes them a person,
Yeah.
but they can still
So fucking
function
weird,
on
man.
some level.
Humans
Yeah.
are weird. Humans are fucking weird, man.
Here's a question for real. Jerusalem used to be Salem, and we always hear about Salem witch trials, and then we have all the towns in America called Salem, and then Jerusalem is the capital of Israel now. But like, I keep like, what is Jeru? Why did they put Jeru on the front of Salem if it was Salem before? And then Salem, if you break it down, leads to salt in etymology. And so it's just, we always talk about like witches use a protection spell, would be like put a circle of salt around you. Or we talk about how much salt's in your human body. Or if you know me on my salt kick.
Yeah.
Humans need more salt in general because none of the minerals are sticking in them. None of the water sticking to them without the salt. So, yeah, it just makes me think, is a
You are the
saltier,
salt of the earth.
yeah, the salt. And
Yeah, you
that's
are
what
the salt.
Ben Balderson would say, our mercury goes up. What is it? Our mercury goes up and our sulfur goes down.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, shit. I feel like I said that wrong. Salt, whatever.
Well, I think mercury would rise, right?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Maybe it's our sulfur goes up and our salt goes down.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I sounded good the first time.
We're gonna
so-
have to have Ben Balderson on again soon. Shout out to Ben Balderson. If you guys don't
Thanks.
already, follow Odin's Alchemy and Weaving Spiders Webs on YouTube. They are a brilliant brilliant gackle of lads.
Y'all need to go down the what is it? The medical website, MedMD website, where they have all different like reports and studies of all kinds of methods and cures and for whatever you look for. Just go down the mercury path and just go down that rabbit hole and just see what happens, because mercury is a one interesting substance that they either say is poisonous or not poisonous. I don't know, it's just a weird substance and I want to get down to the bottom of it. So it's just very interesting. Y'all need to go down that rabbit hole.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think I also want to have somebody on soon with Tataria that's smarter than me about the whole thing. And I think Mercury is a big, huge player in their free energy. For some reason, in its towers, its zeppelins, its Ferris wheels, its mercury pools. These are like the things that I'm coming together with. I don't know what
Yeah.
they do, but there's something all there.
Yeah.
And you always say also in magic that Mercury is a big, huge spell holder.
Yeah, it's like a vessel for like gin. So like back home in Romania, Albania, Yugoslavia, whatever, the whole region, they'll go to a sheikh, witch or warlock or whatever you want to call it, and they'll ask for whatever it is. Oh, I want these people to get divorced because I love that man. Put a spell on this bitch or send a djinn to her. Okay, bring mercury, bring this, bring this, bring this. Or they have to go to a jewelry maker and bind it with gold or lock it somehow in like gold, so it doesn't really escape if they want to do it that way. But they use mercury pretty much to conjure a demon or a jinn and send it to a person. And then at night, they'll like women sitting outside in their farms and whatnot, in their fields. In the moonlight, you could see these brushes of light passing through the field. And these are what they call Jiva. Jiva is mercury. So they'll see mercury traveling in the fields and they're like, oh my God. And they'll start praying and saying, someone just sent jinn, And I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And then I went down this rabbit hole and apparently it's true. So it's a vessel, like a magic carpet for jinn to like travel here in this realm to a certain destination. But you have to sacrifice something for that.
Because Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Like, so he travels between realms.
It's wild. It's wild.
That is wild. And then if you also think of what Hollywood would show us with that kind of Mercury being, it makes me think of Terminator 2 automatically.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And how something would just come out of the Mercury.
Well, and speaking of Hollywood, I feel like we should break this down too. So, witches allegedly avoid holly when they're flying over hedges, and yet holly is supposedly a choice wood for crafting magic wands. The wood is alleged to possess an innate ability for control. Go figure. Hollywood, innate ability to control.
Interesting.
And it's, it used to be Hollywood land, and then it's Hollywood. I feel like
What was that guy's name who
Tunnel
had everything to
Mental.
do with that? The guy who discovered electricity, J.P. Morgan. No, who was it?
Edison?
Yeah, Edison. He was a part of why Hollywood was from at the east and went to the west and was Hollywood land. He was one of the big reasons why it went there, why it moved there. Yeah,
And if Tunnel Mental's in here, he has this crazy fact about the sign, and I'll post it. But I think they had like somebody hung themselves on one of the letters of the land, and maybe it was the 13th letter. I don't know why. I think, but something that they hung themselves, and that's why they took it down. Like it was a ritual. I don't know why that's sticking in my brain, but there's something else with that. But even those words written over an entire city, and it's so much smaller and not really exciting when you first pull up and see the Hollywood sign. It's not like you think. You're like, huh. But then also that you're walking on stars on a walk of fame is weird to me. Like some
That
kind of
is weird.
spell. Like
Yeah.
part of the spell is us being convinced like that the sheep would follow the stars.
And isn't there gold in these, like, stars, like gold trim around them?
A weird thing about the Hollywood Walk of Fame is it's not really the most famous people. It's like you just get enough signatures and you can
Yeah,
get
and you get a
a
star.
star.
I could get a star there if I wanted to.
We probably could.
Hey guys, let's sign me up.
Let's start a
sign me up.
GoFundMe. That's what we'll push. Like every show, it's just like, sorry, we have to do this. We don't know why it's part of this.
Sign our
We just gotta
petition
do
for the
it.
Hollywood star.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
think
guys. I don't
the
want
Golden Girls, Betty White being the mayor of Hollywood, I think that shit is just as powerful as the Queen of England to me.
that.
Like Hollywood is a needed necessity. Even when we're talking about these, everybody's always like, London City is the financial hub, and Washington DC and
was
the
the hashtag?
Vatican, and they all have the obelisks, and this is the important thing, and just this is everybody needs to focus on this country, and everybody needs to focus on this. And I've always been a person that I'm like, the Church of Hollywood is the scariest thing on the planet.
Hashtag Chaney's hashtag.
Y'all, it triggers the shit out of me. They took my hashtag off Instagram. I've been working on it for
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
You
just to
cannot
show
even
you
search
guys
it.
when they're like, no one's been saying this stuff about P. Diddy. I have. And
Yeah.
I used to have it all on this hashtag so I could easily pull it back up, tag it again, do it so people could just go through it when they find it. Instagram stole my hashtag. It was one thing that when they took down like where we go one, we go all.
Yeah.
And like the storm is coming. But you took down the Church of Hollywood, you dickheads.
You're
Like-
onto it, man. You're
Like-
waking too many people up to it.
They have that kind of power to do that, motherfuckers. Like, really? We've allowed
Because you
him.
got like what
to get this
1.1
much
million
power?
hits on an old video the other day on today.
Oh my gosh. I have like 1.2 million hits on an old video from an account that got like, it's not that great of a video. I've done better videos. And so it's all about Rosie O'Donnell just being like, the media is run by 4 companies, one of them being this company right here. It was like one of her last days on The View.
Yeah.
And she loses her skull. She probably had to get reprogrammed after that by
Yeah.
Madonna. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
we know.
Another real moment.
Yeah, so really it's all these people being like,
She must
what
have
the
taken ivermectin. Dewormed
yeah,
herself.
people are like, what the fuck? I never seen this side of Rosie O'Donnell, but I'm like, also Rosie O'Donnell used to say some 9/11 truth. She
Yeah.
was on The View one day being like, 9/11 was an inside job. Bush is a crook. We shouldn't be in Afghanistan. We shouldn't be in like just going off and then getting in a fight with Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who was, the Bush.
Allegedly the conservative one.
A little off topic, but you mentioned what I don't want to say the
No,
word again.
Yeah. Oh,
But
sorry. I
there
couldn't
is
set it.
topical lotion for
Sorry,
like, you know
guys.
how you have those itchy mites that crawl on your skin that are like really, really tiny. Well, apparently they have over the counter Ivor lotion. And guess what that is? It's literally lice medication. There's lice lotion. And you could use that that word on your skin if you feel like you have those itchy skin, or you feel like you have like crawlers in your skin, like parasites. That will help. It's over the counter. It's like $8. Just so you know. Like if you have skin conditions like rosacea, that's parasitic. Use it. If you have psoriasis, boom, use it. If you have like parasitical skin conditions like eczema, do it.
Do you think there was a lot of these natural type things, not just these words we're not allowed to say, but just very natural herbs, and they might be in your backyard right now, but purposefully you don't have the knowledge of them because then the big pharma spell that we're all under, which that seems like what so much it seems more a spell to me than just a very easy 3D like, we're going to make you sick with a needle. It seems like they're doing something so much darker. It's like, even when you would read stuff from a witch and like what they would put in their spell, they're like, and I'm going to take a toe of a baby, and I'm going to take an ear of a monkey, and I'm going to take and that feels like what goes into the needles that they're sticking into us. Like they're doing some kind of crazy heavy metals, and it seems like all
Animal
kooky.
DNA shit.
It's magic.
And that's I really do. My mom was big into outdoor survival skills. Like when I was a little kid, you know, other kids were freaking sitting at home playing video games. My mom's teaching me how to like nap obsidian so I could learn how to make my own arrowheads. And but herbology was like a big part of our lives. Like we never went to the doctor. She always like would, if she didn't grow it, she would bought herbs in bulk, and she made her own tinctures and her own infusions and decoctions and stuff, and taught us how to do that as well. But that's like one thing that always gets me is that for so long she was so anti-dandelion. Like, oh, the lawn looks horrible. Like we can't have dandelions spread. So if you see them yellow, you need to pick them out of the yard. But the dandelion is like this is a huge psyop because every part of the dandelion plant is edible. Every single part. You can make coffee from it and everything. But the root
Tea.
especially is so detoxifying for your liver and your kidneys. It is so good for you. Like if you're having any kind of issues like with swelling and edema or anything like that, then you can like make a tea, a decoction out of the root of the dandelion, and it literally will help a lot. It'll flush that all those toxins out of your body. But we sit there and spray them with Roundup and treat it like it's like this horrible, horrible thing. And really that's like, if you are starving, if you don't treat your yard with Roundup, you could literally eat the dandelions all over your yard.
Best way to eat them, I hear, is frying them, deep frying them with like a
cockroaches and crickets.
I don't know about
Yum.
that, but like deep frying them with like some batter.
Worms.
They're so delicious, I heard. But I don't know. It defeats the purpose if you're going to use oil.
It just is curious. I think the movie Hereditary, I always tell I speak to people in movies about things that I've read in like esoteric books because I'm like, this is real. And
it's
so
real. There's so many real
movie,
rituals in the movies.
Oh my gosh. And so Hereditary, like one of the things, if you guys haven't seen it, it is they're preparing a body for a god. And so a lowercase god, like an ancient deity, an ancient old energy. They're preparing a body. I know it feels weird calling it a god, like what a demon. They're preparing a body for this thing. And so for a placeholder for this dark energy for a period of time is a 9-year-old girl. And that's no body for a lowercase god. So they have to pretty much set it up so that the vessel can jump and they can do the amount of rituals so it can eventually get to a 17-year-old boy, because that would be the perfect vessel and like where you'd honor your deity. So I think Hollywood does these kind of rituals. That's why they have certain politicians lay in state, or the queen lay and do this whole 10-day ritual around it and separate her crown and do all this stuff. I think that's all stuff where they're just opening up for these other deities. Like they welcoming them in, like they always have to be there. Like we were questioning why Obama had the monkey god, or why deity has the Haitian, which is also the African goddess protector of children, on his back. You know, like they're evoking something. And some of these people let their vessel go completely, or I think some children might not even get the option. Like their vessel just gets used and abused in these rituals to like, here, God, we gave you this vessel so you could harvest it and come into it.
Which God?
Especially because like there's a thing called the age of accountability. It's not necessarily in the Bible, but it's just well known. And the Rancha book that my mom read, they called it like your thought adjuster. Like humans don't get their thought adjuster until a certain age. And if the age of accountability, like, is what a lot of biblical scholars agree on, is around the age of 7, then before that, they're just really an open vessel.
That's kind of where even there was this whole transcendental meditation phase. Like Juan's been doing some shows on yoga being demonic. And there was this whole transcendental meditation phase where a lot of people that meditated, like old school yogis, or not even yogis, because yogis and meditation really, you can do them together, but they don't have anything to do with each other.
They're not necessarily synonymous.
This person that meditated, they said transcendental meditation was demonic. And it was like, what? How is your meditation not but this? And they said, my meditation's very intentional. I keep it, you're not supposed to just every time a thought comes in, your goal is to get it gone. Every time a thought comes in, your goal is to get it gone, because that leaves you almost on this white plane where something else can write there.
Like-
where instead, every thought, you're supposed to very intentionally sit with it, that it's there for a reason right now. It's showing itself for a reason. And so when you look at people like Howard Stern, or the amount of celebrities that push transcendental meditation specifically, I'm just like, what are they up to?
Yeah.
It's never for no reason. And Howard Stern has called Robin a witch, and meeting with her coven. Robin Quivers is Howard Stern's, like, news lady, for the past 30 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's like, you with your coven. But I think Beth O is a witch, his wife. And anytime certain celebrities, Lisa Vanderpump would be the other one, when they go too heavy at saving animals, where it's like their number one thing, and they always are showing pictures. Look at this one-eyed cat. Look at this three-legged dog. Look at this atrocity of these things. For some reason, I think they're balancing their karma because of the dark shit they do to humans.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't,
100%.
there's not an authentic thing to me. And so when Lisa Vanderpump was going all in on the Yulin Dog Festival, I'm like, so, like, we're all talking about things like ping pongs and comets and pizza parlors, of stuff we can't mention here because we might get taken down. But and she's talking about dogs being eaten in China at a festival, and like showing atrocities, and like having people break in and smuggle out these dogs. But we're not talking about humans anywhere. And it just feels like something's amiss. And then when you look at Lisa Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who do you have on there? You have a guy named Tom Sandoval, who had a band once called, I think, Charles McMansion. And who was in the band with him? Isaac Cappy.
Yeah.
And so they're like, the levels of attachment to these people and these things, it's not for no reason. I think there's high witches involved, and these people aren't just like, hey, I want to drink some blood. They're doing ritual.
There's a new Wayfair apparently, and it's Etsy. And if you put in names like pizza, you put in a name like Yummy Yum, you put in a name like ice cream, you will apparently start to see a pattern like we did with Wayfair, and the prices of some of these obscene, weird, like, this doesn't even make sense for that to even be the price, but how they name some of these things is very interesting. If y'all want to check out a video, I have it on my page, Got Pill Angel 333. But y'all can do it yourself. Go to Etsy and just type in those words, keywords, and just see what happens and see where it takes you, because it's a dark, deep rabbit hole.
PK says there's an achrome connection with German Shepherds, he thinks. And I think there's one with pandas, too. I don't know what it is. I don't know why China breeds pandas. I don't know what panda diplomacy is. I don't know why, like, a panda has to go with a caretaker no matter where they're at in the world, and the panda only gets leased. No other country can have a panda. It is leased from China. And so there's something about the way they're coddled and how dopey this bear is, that is the kind of energy that they want to torture. This is how sick and twisted they are. They don't want to torture a fucking animal that's going to fight back. They want to torture something that doesn't understand. It's been coddled its entire life. It's been bottle fed its entire life. It's been brushed and just played. That's the animal they want to hurt. They do the scapegoat ritual thing where they coddle something to abuse it and treat something like trash to honor it. It's so friggin' bizarre.
Well, yeah, kind of like the whole, what's it called, beef. I cannot think of it. It's yeah. It's not
Wagyu beef.
It's not Wagyu. It's the one that's like above that. But Kobe beef.
Kobe, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like they're literally massaged and fed all the prime stuff just to become an expensive ass steak.
Fatten them up. Fatten them up. And doesn't it feel like they're doing that to Americans? Fatten them up. Fatten them up. Like, it doesn't even make any sense how fat Americans are to the rest of the world. Like the average American's twice the size of every other person in every other country. What the?
That was my big wake up and like upset and disappointment was really like looking into the food that the FDA of it all and just seeing that like what does food and drug have to be like, why are they in the same category here, you know? When you start really investigating that, it's sickening.
Shout out to my homegirl, Frantic Missy. I hope everything's okay today. I hope she just fell asleep. Or she ended
Yeah.
up in a really fun chat and doesn't know the time.
Yeah.
And if you don't already, because she will be on, and if you are on X, find at Frantic Missy and follow her. Because if she's ever running a chat room and you want to start experiencing X chats, hers are always entertaining, fun, and she is so full of knowledge. She speaks. I was excited for you guys to meet her because it is almost Irish Jamaican, but just out of an American girl. But the amount of stuff and the amount of words she has to say at Frantic Missy is the perfect name for her. So
Awesome.
anyway, shout out to her if she doesn't show up tonight, but I don't care. It's fun hanging out with you guys anyway.
Yeah. We always have a good time.
And if you guys are in the Ocala area tomorrow and feel like hanging out with Thomas and I, or just want to come by and say hi to Paranoid American, there is a Comic-Con going on there and we will be there. So that is where Thomas is at tonight. He is set up his table and he has to get sleep, but I'm a little like, I have to drive 3 hours.
Damn.
And I'm hanging out with the SSGG because that's how I roll.
Yeah. Because you
I'm going to be there at open.
'Cause
I
you're
better not
fucking
talk a big
G.
game. I better not talk a big game. I can't. I got to take a nap after this at some point. I was not gonna sleep, but then I'm like, oh, I got to be on
You
my A
should.
game tomorrow.
Yeah. Take a little nap. Start fresh.
Take a little napsy. I wish I had my microphone. I did order a new microphone because I'm like, I'm gonna use drives to start recording other stuff for Project Chaney. Other rants that I can put together and edit.
You need
later
to get
on.
one of those little what's it called, microphones from
lapel.
Yeah, I actually just ordered some from TikTok Shop.
Shout out to
Oh, the little
TikTok
ones?
Shop.
Yeah, so that way I could like that you could use with your phone. So that way, like, because I need to make my card video.
In the Hollywood witch of it all, what are your feelings of Marina Abramovich?
Holy fuck!
She's like the Wicked Witch of the East.
You think she is in a way of like coveting? Do you think, okay, like we were just talking about Wagyu beef compared to Kobe, okay?
Yeah.
In a hierarchy order, I'm going to tell you just some random names and you say, like, in a hierarchy order, who do you think is a higher witch? Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears?
Britney.
I'm going Christina. I think Britney's caught. She's trapped.
Yeah.
Xbox gets to walk around freelance.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
That's just it. We don't know. This is just, who do you think's a higher witch, Lady Gaga or Madonna? Madonna, right? Madonna's like fucking up there. So like Madonna, we didn't agree on the Britney or Christina, so neither of them are going to be high enough witches to keep playing this game. So like right now, I'm like starting it. Like, who do you think's a higher witch, Madonna or Marina Abramovich?
Marina Abramovich.
Yeah,
Marina.
Yeah.
Is there a higher witch than Marina? Who's higher, Oprah or Marina?
Who's that ugly lady in fashion with the weird whatever? She has like a
Donatella Versace.
The ugly witchy lady.
Long blonde hair.
What about Gloria Vanderbilt?
Okay. Hold on. Marina Abramovich. It's Donatella Versace. I know you're talking about. I saw it in your brain. She was wearing a
too
green.
much plastic surgery, way too much filler in her face where it doesn't look human anymore.
Who is that?
But
really
what do you guys think about Gloria Vanderbilt though? Have you guys looked at her very much?
Yes.
With her weird little doll houses that she gives people their death scenes? Gloria Vanderbilt.
No. I heard that. I heard that. I was asking. I thought Layla just shouted the name.
No, she has dark hair. I'm trying to see. Hold on.
Did you look up Donatella Versace?
Yeah, I know she is. She's blonde hair. She's ugly. But there's this other one that all these celebrities hang out with her, and she's just
Oh, I
she
know
looks like a
exactly who you're
witch.
talking about.
Yeah, she looks
She
like a
actually
witch.
looks like a fucking witch.
Her,
Like even more
she's
than
a fucking
Marina.
yes.
I
That
know exactly who
her,
you're talking about. You
that
guys,
bitch.
on if not this Sunday, I will definitely have pictures of this woman. Layla will put pictures on Godpill Angel 333. So if you don't follow her, we'll post that on Sunday.
She
I'll pull it up.
ugly.
You guys have to see this woman and start like looking up these people next to people.
Even
Okay.
her man is young as fuck, but like creepy as fuck with her. And like all these people in fashion, Jay-Z, Marina Abramovich, all of them like look up to these people. And I'm like, yo, these people look like they could eat you,
Okay.
like they look like cannibals.
On the list, I also am putting Gloria Vanderbilt because if you don't know who she is, Anderson Cooper's mom. Like also, if you ever looked into the art and everything that was around all the Podesta art, there was always the picture of the one kid with little white hair and little trunks hanging with like a brick background, little white cube background. And then you pull out and everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's the Vanderbilt mansion pool. And then you look at pools like this and you're like, oh my gosh, those weren't pools. They were like hose off rooms for later. Like these people are sick. And so I do think from even her, if you get fashion, like the way I was talking about Hermes, how there's like 10 families that are so rich, they never even make the Forbes 100. Like, so we're like Paciers and we're talking about the Khazarians and we're talking about, and one of these families is the Hermes family. And that's a fashion empire, y'all. That is like mind blowing to me. Like this family makes more money than Nike. This family makes more money than Gucci and LV combined. This family, like Hermes, what? Like, yeah, we all know what it is. Like, and then you think it's Hermes. That part blows my mind as well.
Yeah.
The Devil Wears Prada.
So I think these fashion houses are a huge part of their dark ass magic. Like these fashion houses have held like these seamstress and these textile workers are the ones who built Hollywood. All the textile money is the thing that built Hollywood. Who runs Hollywood? The textile workers. Look into it. I don't even have to say anything else because who are the textile workers? Who runs the world? Who
Michelle
runs the world?
LeMay. There you go. Michelle LeMay. That's her
Michelle
name.
LeMay. We're putting her on the
Yeah,
list.
we have to put her on the screen.
Yeah, we do. You're right.
She
But I had
I'm
to
not
get
trying
her
to
on.
traumatize y'all, but
Yo,
just easy.
she's just fucking weird, bro. Like she's just
Michelle LeMay. How do I Michelle?
she's like a walking demon. Lamy. Rick Owens' wife. Balenciaga's owner's wife. The Baal.
Balenciaga.
Shout out to whoever
owner,
said it in the chat. Somebody said it.
wife.
I love you, chat. I love you, chat.
I know they're so smart.
So great. I'm so
It's
tired.
pulling up picture. Oh, okay, it did. I was like, it's pulling up fucking pictures of Selma Hayek, and then I saw, and then it's unmissable. You guys are gonna be like, if you don't know this person, hold on to your hats. Put your children out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Nightmares. That thing. There's another one where she's like holding her face and her teeth are showing, and it look like they're like skeleton teeth. They're horrible.
Look at her.
Rick Owens is married to that.
Eyes, man.
Ooh, low.
Show more. How weird she is.
I know so many pictures of Selma Hayek. I'm like, why did she come up?
That is weird.
Is that Rick Owens is new?
I wonder what the connection is between the two.
Look, it brings a replica of her husband's head to Paris fashion show.
Weird.
The head of it all, just like you were asking earlier.
Yeah, because you retain the magic of the person if you have their head.
Yeah.
This is why I think Henry VIII have the heads. This is why the Skull and Bones had Geronimo.
That's why the lady wanted John the Baptist's head on a platter for her birthday.
Who's she related to, this bitch?
Over the row. With it looks like an American flag backward. Oh my gosh, look at there. Can you guys see this, or am I just looking at the
No, we're
screen
still
alone?
looking at your.
Oh
You're
my
looking at.
gosh, I'm on a whole other journey, you guys. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh my gosh. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through like this article, but it was just like that just happened to be the end of the article. But she walked around with that all night.
I want to know who her family is.
That's her, the head. That's her husband. That's wild shit. That lady's
She was
a
born in
witch.
France, 1944.
The teeth, man.
Okay, so another person I'm going to put on the list.
Yo, this lady, there's not much on her.
We can look her up later.
Weird. There's like nothing on her. Strange.
I'll do a deep dive later. Some rad person in the chat will, and we'll get so much information on her. Or on your TikTok algorithm, right when you click on it, you're gonna have 47 videos
Yeah.
about
Probably.
Chalamet. I don't know what her name is, but I have to say their name's weird, like Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Okay. What witch was I just thinking of that I was just like, okay, here's a high witch. And this one I think could be the high, or like up there as one of the higher witches. And I fucking forgot who I was going to ask you guys. Oh, yeah. Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where do you
yeah.
think Kris Jenner sits, higher or lower than Madonna?
A little lower.
I think
Not
lower.
as high. Not
See,
as
I
high.
think Kris Jenner is the highest witch in Hollywood right now.
She could be.
I think she's a succubus like no other, and her full daughters, they've fully absorbed every man that comes across them. Think of the amount of men that have been through the Kardashians, and I would say 70%,
And they're ruined.
and they never come back.
at
And here's
Scott.
the other crazy part. I would say 70% of the men that have been through the Kardashians, Kris is either their manager or their conservator. Like that basketball
Yeah.
player that ended up in a hotel in Texas, like Lamar Odom or whatever. Odom. I think he knew too much. And so they put that hit on him. And now
Yeah.
he's a vegetable and they have full control over him.
Yeah. Look at Scott. He looks like a vegetable too now. Looks like the
It's
soul got
Kanye.
sucked out of him. Kanye too. The only person I would say, wait, where's Tyga? Tyga's no longer in the picture.
Who
that
do you
much.
always say, where's the brother?
Yeah, Rob Kardashian.
The man.
I haven't seen him in years.
And look at who they
Kris
invited into
Jenner.
the coven, Black China. And then right when she leaves, she's like, I'm a Christian. Whatever she saw, she took a hard turn. She's on her knees every day praying for safety.
Forgiveness. Yeah.
Yeah, and forgiveness, because whatever she was up to was dark ass magic, or they must be doing dark shit to her that she is praying against.
But I kind of feel like she's still part of it because she's kind of pushing her daughter into the limelight now, her young daughter that she had with Rob. So it's like, is she really like Christian or is she playing the role as one? But she's like pushing her daughter now.
I kind of agree with you in that, like, where it's like a Christian grift a little bit, because even remember Kanye's church where Justin Bieber and Marilyn Manson, and they were all praying in like white with their.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait till they go down.
Here is another
What about
thing.
even the Travis Barker and like their wedding and everything, and the whole like embracing the Catholicism of it all, like trying to do the Mary stuff and everything?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
It was weird. Well, because I follow Travis Barker, so like watch on Instagram. So watching his page when him and which one did he marry? I don't even remember her freaking name.
Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah.
So when they got married and everything, and then they did this whole photo shoot where she's like doing the whole like trying to look Virgin Mary-ish, and it was definitely all Mary themed and Catholic themed. It was very ritual.
It was very also with Kim Kardashian and Kanye. It was very Catholic. Her and like Mary, the veil, and very scenic and serene. It was very Roman Catholic. That was the
Well, I
vibe.
think they do this other thing too to evoke certain energies, and these
Yeah.
celebrities
Yeah.
seem to like Lady Gaga buys up all Michael Jackson's clothes that she can get her hands on. Every bit of Michael Jackson's clothes that she can buy, she does. Because
Mhm.
I think they, in a bedknobs and broomsticks way, conjure that energy, or they try to put it in clothes or like wear the clothes. And so I even think Kim with the Marilyn Monroe dress, which I
Yeah.
think was done on purpose, by the way, to us in the zeitgeist, that's a spell. The Marilyn Manson mix. And
It
like,
is.
it's
Didn't
like,
she even take a lock of hair of Marilyn Monroe and said, I'm gonna create a spell with this"? She said it.
yeah.
Yeah. And the
Also,
whole
oh, go on.
all the cutting of the fingers and her blatantly saying it. Oh, I sacrificed my finger for beauty. And I'm just like, you,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay, girl, just let them know. Let them know. Like, they're witches. Beyonce, you name it. They're
Well,
all fucking
even
black
look at
witches.
Kylie's dress where she had the lion's head on it. Like, do you any of you believe that was not a real lion's head?
I think it was a real lion's head.
I do too. I think it
Yeah.
was real. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
real as fuck.
They're
That
so
that
weird.
is a ritual as well.
What was
Yeah.
the spell?
That's a
Do,
spell.
Do you
The
guys remember when Beyonce's ex-drummer filed a restraining order against her because she was alleging extreme witchcraft?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that just got brought up today. Like somebody was talking about that today. That's been brought back into the
Jaguar Wright is right
zeitgeist.
about everything. That lady, just Google her and just listen to her videos
I'm
on
not trying to
TikTok.
put down anything. I'm sure Jaguar Wright's on fire. She ain't been saying it as long as I've been saying it. All the
Yeah.
same fucking people. She just had like shout out to her, but I'm just like, God damn them. Like the amount
I
of
know.
accounts that they fucking have taken of mine, the amount of videos that I have to trudge back through and just repost, that
I
it's
know.
not any new information
Like,
that
she
I'm
was in the
reposting.
game, like she has the details, like, of all these victims and the names of these victims. And it's like she knows a lot of shit, like dirt upon dirt upon dirt. And we know what they do, but she got the
When does
deets.
a bird sing?
Mm,
I just feel like, and this is a big, huge thing too for all these fucking people. 50 Cent, all these fucking people. If you are quiet, you are complacent.
mhm.
So if you sat there and sat on the tit of the devil in the industry, and you went to these fucking parties and you knew this shit was going on, and you were like, oh, I was scared for my own life, but let me still cash my check. Let me still do my movies. Let me still show up in all these whatever.
And now I'm gonna
Like,
say something.
and
Now
now
I'm say something.
now I'm safe to say, fuck you, dude. No deals. No deals.
Because how
Like,
many people got hurt because you kept your damn mouth
yeah.
shut?
How many children got hurt? So the idea when these people are put on a pedestal now, like fucking 50 Cent, like, cool. Glad you're saying it now, but there's literally 1 million people saying it that people don't know their names at all. So we really don't need you to say it anymore. Your quiet is complacent. And like that. I'm like, kind of, I feel like that with Jibby Jabs. I feel like that with the mask. I feel like that with a lot of people in my own life. Like there was that saying that it's not the words of your enemies that hurt you, it was the silence of your friends. That is real fucking life. So if you were an adult and you were privy to a child being injured and you sat silent, no deals. I don't care what you have to say now. I don't care how juicy the information. To me, you're just as big of a criminal.
Guilty. Yeah.
You're guilty. Guilty. You're fired.
You're fired. And this okay, I gotta bring this up because it's like whenever we start talking about this shit, like the Fauci of it all, like I'm pissed hearing like Kamala say, my body, my choice. Like women should have the choice. When did you got 4 years ago, where was our choice? What did you tell people? What did your party and everybody say about your choice to not go get the needle juice? Like, how many people didn't have a choice or they weren't going to keep their job? But now it's my body, my choice again?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the choice and everything, it doesn't even matter if you kept your job and got all the jibby jabs in the world, because most likely your job can't afford you eggs right now and barely can afford to keep a
Yeah.
roof over your family's head. So
Literally.
good luck, because mean tweets. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orange man bad.
It's
Orange
always been
man
your
bad.
body, and it is your choice. Period.
Everything, every single thing,
Yes.
even if a gun's to your head, every single thing is your choice, and you got to take some responsibility for it. And your kids are your responsibility, and you got to take responsibility for that. And you can only do better if you know better, but now you know better, so do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, stop putting your kids through the rhetoric, stop putting your kids through oh, they can't go to public school. You need to find another option then. Looks like poison ain't the way. And that's how I feel about a lot of the information. And a lot of the people are like, oh, but do I have to? Do I want to separate the art from the artist? I don't know. I can't watch Forrest Gump without thinking anything different about Tom Hanks and red shoe, red shoe, red shoe. Creepy, creepy, creepy. I can dissect the movie now because I want to look at symbolism, but do I enjoy it? No.
I couldn't watch the Elvis movie as much as I want to watch it because my daughter is obsessed with it. She's watched it like she knows exactly how many times, probably like 70 something times. I can't watch it. I cannot enjoy Tom Hanks anymore.
I
I feel
can't.
like
There's just
I feel like by watching anything new that he's making, I'm giving him a pass.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about,
Participating.
like, I put on I heard remix to ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen, mama rolling number, and I was like, gosh, this song slapped. But now I can only use it to make TikToks about P Diddy. Like, I don't really enjoy it because I think of all that, and I really just think R. Kelly was an arm of P Diddy, and it's funny, the P of it all.
I know.
Shivan Boo Diddy. Sorry, we don't have to go there, everyone. I'm sorry. That was me. I don't need to throw up tonight. Oh, fuck.
Mm.
But anyways, where were we?
Well, I wonder
should
what
go.
type of drugs that they've used to
Oh, I'm so glad you said this.
make them forget their memory, like their memory loss, like during events, like not remembering anything and catching everything on tape. What is the drug that they used on these people? That's what's
Scopolamine?
Scopolamine.
is
Yeah.
that what it is, huh?
Yeah.
Scopolamine can make you so susceptible that you're just so suggestible that you will do anything and then you forget it. And I've done it now twice, and I only know because they didn't give it to me the second time in surgery. In the first surgery, they were like, do you remember being in here? We had all these conversations and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't remember this room at all. I don't remember you guys. But last time I had scopolamine, and they were all like, you don't have your scopolamine? Do you want scopolamine? And I was like,
No.
sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, at that time, all the drugs I wanted. I was like
Let's do
119
this.
pounds and I was
Yeah.
cut open. I was like, oh, I was like, do
Give it
whatever
to
you
me.
Give it
want.
to
Give
me.
me the drugs. But yeah, scopolamine, dude, I was in a good mood to do whatever. Like, if you would have just been like, Chaney, run around the hospital with your guts cut open, I would have been like, okay,
Yeah, let's do it.
all right. Like, I was just in a great, what a great idea. Like, I even remember in there, like, the second they put the scopolamine on, like, something different started happening in my brain. And then I wasn't there anymore. So
Mm.
even if I woke up during surgery, even if it was painful and some trauma happened to me, I would have not remembered. And that is like the weird thing. So they say in South America, ladies of the night will go by and it's like a powder, and they'll go and they'll blow it in dudes' faces, like John's faces, and then they'll say, take me to your ATM, give me all your money, take me to your house, and then they'll just rob them blind.
You
And the
know,
guy's like, sure.
my friend in the Philippines, because I was a sailor, so you hear sea stories a lot. And they went to the Philippines, and he said that they went to this bar and drank, like they just ordered a beer. He said, I just had one beer. He's like, and all these girls come out, and he goes, and I said girls, Abbie. He's like, they were not women. He goes, and they were trying to get us to pay for a hooker, and we're like, no, that's okay, we're not doing that, we're just here to drink a beer, because they just got off the ship. He's like, next thing I know, I wake up and I'm in this freaking hotel, like, and he goes, and there was two young, he's like, young girls there, like, he's like, I was sick to my stomach because I don't remember ever going there. He's like, the last thing I remember was drinking my first beer. He's like, he paid him, they literally wanted $2. And then he fucking was like trying to get him out of there and give him a ride home, or like get him home, you know, but like
It
he was,
happened to me.
that's scary.
Yeah, it happened to me at an Albanian party, and an Albanian did it to a fellow Albanian fucking piece of shit. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was just like one drink in, and he got me the drink, but I was with him, like just chatting, and then I started dancing, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? And I started throwing up, and he finds me, and then he starts taking me to the car, and thank God I was with a bunch of girls, because the girls are like, wait a minute, where are you taking her? Like, apparently I did not remember a single fucking thing. I don't even remember how I got home, but I woke up home. I don't know what he gave me, but yeah, it's a scary fucking thing, man. It's fucking scary. I don't know what else to say. Like, not to not remember anything. Whew. Like, time disappears. Like, what the
I
fuck?
did a little Xanax once and a little alcohol, and it wasn't a lot of alcohol and it wasn't a lot of Xanax, but the combination of them together, my friends told me shit about myself that night with shit I was saying, and like the lack of sense that it makes. That's the part that freaks me out. It's like it wasn't even intelligent shit. It was like, what are the rollerblades doing on the fan? They're gonna hurt someone.
Yeah.
Like weird shit. And
Yeah.
so that's the only time I know that I blacked out ever in life. And it gave me such like I have friends that black out every single time they drink. They will remain nameless. But I just think that's wild. Like you could hang out with Britney Spears tonight and not remember.
Yeah.
Or get raped or gangbanged and not remember.
Yeah. With Johnny
So
Depp or, you know, if you're in New York City, it'll happen. Like, I almost got carried off, but I forgot what his fucking actor's name, but he plays in, oh, I forgot. I Origin. There you go. The main character. Yeah, he was fucked up out of his mind and he wanted to take, but thank God I was sane. I was like, motherfucker, put me down. These people are crazy in that industry. I realized most of the celebrities I've met in New York City, they're not normal people. They're not normal. You could feel that they're different.
I've been to some dark places in Los Angeles during my youth that I'm grateful that I never went down the wrong hallway or said yet, like maybe put the right people around me, that I never said yes or took the wrong thing or drank the wrong drink. Like I was in such the wolf's den. And I just feel like something protected me while I was there. And not that scary fucking shit didn't happen to me there.
Yeah.
And not that weird, absurd things I didn't put myself into while I was there. But
Dude,
overall, I'm grateful for how I still left there with most of my pieces and didn't try adrenochrome. I talk about it with other kids that I wouldn't have known what it was. And so if it was just something from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and you were like, look, it's on the movie Fear and Loathing in Las, it would have never even made sense to me. Like so much about movies now, I still watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got that part. So
Yeah.
it was like, I didn't understand what there's only one way to get this from a person. Like if they would even said, Chaney, you got to kill the person. I would have thought you had to kill the person and steal the drugs off their body. I wouldn't have thought you have to kill the person to use the I was so like naive.
Like
So
I'm ingesting a person.
yeah, I would have never even. So there's just certain things in life that my naivete, it wasn't because something in my Scorpio, in my personality, I want to try it. I want to try everything once. I don't care what it is. I don't care how dangerous you tell me it is. Like my fear drives me to try it, and a little bit of whatever my ego, like you can handle it. And so there would have been, I'm so grateful for certain times in my life that I just
same.
like
Like,
have a little hedge of protection around me.
Like, I feel like I've had I know it may sound weird, but in my entire life, I had either Child Protective Services come after me. I had Wilhelmina Scouting harass me for 3 years. And thank God, like, I didn't go with that. And then there was something else before that. Oh, in school with all the fucking weird testing with the noise and the fucking breathing and the fucking, can you see that? Can you see that? and then the ink blots and whatever. What do you see in this? Like, so all this weird testing and them trying to pull me away from my family kind of was a thing for me. I don't know if they knew something about me or they just wanted me, or I don't know what it was, but I had that like feeling about that because it was all my life, like some weird thing or opportunity that pulled me away into that direction. And
Wilhelmina Cooper,
Wilhelmina scouting, yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
she's a
that,
witch.
yeah.
She in her day, she was her own Ray Chandler, is my bet.
Yeah.
And Wilhelmina Cooper, because she was a model herself, so whatever kind of ritual she made it through and became crueler in her own or did whatever, but she was a Ford model herself. So I believe in the same way that the Kardashians and Hiltons, or the Hilton family, still Kyle Richards, her husband has a real estate agent, and we're under the illusion they're in competition. But I just think it's another branch. And so even though we might never know it on paper, it's just ways that they can move around their money, but more importantly, move around their properties that are attached to tunnels. People like Wilhelmina Cooper, and like she probably had a really close relationship with the Ford modeling agency. And so, and like I would say Ford modeling is the exact same thing as Rachel Chandler. There's Victoria's Secrets, or these catalogs are just ways that the elite human traffic, but get to pick out an exact person. Because like you were just
Before
talking
the
about with the
Wayfair of it all.
Wayfair thing.
Yeah.
Like exactly. It's like they don't need to order a pillow called Brittany Yum Yum. They made by Ellen DeGeneres. They can actually go on VicSec, Victoria's Secrets. The real secret is that it's a human trafficking catalog.
Literally. Oh, I love that model. How much for her for a night?
Just think whatever that fucking Epstein had on Les Wexner, think of this for real, was dark enough that he sold him the biggest single residential home in Manhattan for $1.
That's insane.
Yeah.
For $1.
Well, talking about property, we're forgetting one witch, Paris Hilton.
Oh, we haven't forgot about Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, that fucking witch. I think she has a lot to do with like Britney.
I do too. And Paris
handler.
Hilton doesn't even look like Paris Hilton. I think it's weird. And I don't think it's weird if women need to use a surrogate. I don't think that's weird at all. I don't think it's weird if women adopt children. But the amount that these celebrities use surrogates to have their kid, like Paris Hilton had a kid and her mom didn't even know about it. And a
Yeah.
strange thing, her mother, this is why Paris Hilton, I think, is kind of a lower level witch, but somewhere wants to intercept little Kathy, because big Kathy, she named all her kids with K's as well. And this is the same as the Kardashians. And so big Kathy has little Kathy, which she marries a Hilton. She has Kim Richards, which Kim Richards becomes a Disney kid, like she's in Return to Witch Mountain.
Oh shit. I remember that movie. I love
And
that
then
movie.
you have Kyle Richards, who's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she's married to Mauricio, who owns the agency, and they're all K names. And so Paris, her mom, Paris, her mom becomes friends with Michael Jackson in school. And so they stay best friends forever and make a pact that when they have their first child, they'll name him Paris.
K is number 11 in the alphabet. K. Interesting.
K also took over in certain war times. It used to be a Q.
Huh.
The sound of k is
K.
hard, where k is soft. Like it's qua versus k. And so like C to the K,
C to the K.
it's a whole different thing. But also I think it's interesting that I just think all the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they're almost like showing us covens on TV.
Yeah.
All of the Real Housewives, and they're just doing weird things, and everybody's taking part in it.
So it's like, this is a serious question. Like they say, don't use magic, don't use magic. Shouldn't you use your protection magic to protect yourselves from these fucking witches? If it's like witches on witches on witches, like not to be a witch, but like to protect yourself and not use black magic, but use protection spells or herbs or whatever it is, or your will, or talk to God. That's even trying to conjure the spirit of God, like that. Shouldn't we be doing that? Why do they make that such a, oh, that's blasphemy using protection spells? Why is that blasphemy when I'm protecting myself from these fucking witches? Like,
because the books tell us what's good and bad, and instead of us knowing that good and bad is all relative and it's all within context.
mm-hmm,
So if I'm doing this for good, is it good or is it bad? Because the Bible says it's bad.
mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's
What
like
Yeah.
does the Bible say about magic,
intention.
Abbie? Do you
Um,
recall anything?
I know that it
Off
says
the
like
top of your head.
divination, like the only divination you're supposed to use is like the Umim and the Thummim, which is like a white and a black stone for yes and no, pretty much.
Hmm.
But as far as
So you
magic
should
goes,
the only things that you should have are like the black and white of it
yeah.
all almost.
Or yeah, but it's really like it would be the same as energy testing, isn't it?
So
I would
funny
say.
though.
Like
Moses,
use your own energy to discern the yes or no. Like you can ask that, but I feel like that's almost the same as just energy testing.
Moses, Jesus, Adam, uh, Solomon, all were allowed to use magic apparently because they were chosen or allowed to. Solomon was even given a ring and sigils, but y'all are not allowed to. You peasants are not allowed to play with magic, okay?
Well,
Only
even like
us,
Queen
the
Elizabeth the
elite, are
First,
allowed
right?
to,
She's
you know?
religious. She's Protestant, religious, like, but she's like the speaker of God, but she has John D, the court astrologer. It's so funny how
There's another thing that where it's like their magic has no power in you if you don't believe in it. This is where I disagree because I think a lot of good people that would consider themselves people of faith were lured into getting their evil jibby jabs because of screen magic by these witches and these celebrities that we're talking about. I think the way MK Ultra is a form of magic, brainwashing is a form of magic. Like big pharma and trust the seance, like this is all magic. Like there's no such thing as their medicine ever curing you, really. It just keeps you a forever patient. And
Yeah,
so I just think it is some kind of sorcery, and people like to think in this naive way, well, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't hurt me. If maybe if you live in a field in the middle of nowhere and you grow all your own vegetables and your road is yours, and there's people in the world that it doesn't affect.
yeah.
But I feel like most of the people that are living in this world, it
Yeah.
affects, their magic affects us everywhere.
With
Like
the
even to
food,
the
with the
littlest
air.
thing where
Yeah.
Layla's like, no one's around and you're still walking to the corner to cross at the crosswalk. That's
Yeah.
like
how
some level of control that is some kind of crazy agregore magic that you believe this thing's watching you because you're going to break the tooth fairy law and not get the special wish from the birthday moon goddess if you blow out the candles. But all this stuff happens in our lives every day, but people don't want to believe in magic. But what if you blow out your candles and make a wish? Are you feeling lucky at the track? Are you playing dice games? Are you playing card games? Those are all forms of tarot. So
Yeah.
people are they're watching TV, they're saying chants like no justice, no peace. People are taking parts in all forms of magic. Dancing's magic, chanting's
Sports.
magic, mudras with their hands are magic. And
Idol
so
worship is,
this is so many forms of it where I would say your naivete of not knowing is almost hurting you.
if you know that propaganda is real, and if you're watching this show, you do. So you know propaganda is a real thing. Subliminal messaging is a real thing. Those are forms of magic. You might not want to call it magic, but that's what it is. Because here's the thing, even psychology, it is a very new science. It is not old. It is a science that was considered esoteric, superstitious, and magic before.
mhm,
So Freud battled that the whole time he was trying to get it seen as a science. So did Carl Jung. Like psychology was known as a farce and bullshit for a long time, but it's not. They were on to why magic actually works the way that it works. This is how propaganda works. This is how subliminal messaging works. It is like all it takes, like magic ritual isn't even necessary. Like if I was a witch and I wanted to cast a spell, I don't have to have all the things to get what I want. I don't have to have the eye of newt and the, the bat wing and all this shit. I don't need that. But those things do something to my subconscious. It makes my subconscious submit to my will. So that way it's looking in the quantum physics of it all, into the quantum field, to make what I want come to me. It's a way to convince my subconscious that it can happen. So that's the thing. They know how this works, and they use it against you and against me, against all of us. So that way we do their will for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a hundy.
I mean, the types of things that they use for magic, they'll use murky water, like the water of dead bodies that they wash. They'll use that for spells. They'll use eggs, nails. I mean, actual real nails, hair, toenails, fingernails, pieces of clothing, pictures, engraven images, you name it. You name it. Period blood. I mean, why wouldn't you want to protect yourself against these types of magics? Like, I know there's evil people out there using magic, and hey, I might run into somebody who's just fucking jealous of me and they want to, like, I want to destroy her life, because there's people who want to do that and they've done it. Why not? Why not protect yourself in that sense?
And for anyone, if you aren't already on the Project Chaney channel, I actually did a podcast a few years back with One on One, maybe a year and a half back. It's called Weird Seance. And so it's like the seance science thing is every symbol on their medicine, even their pharmaceutical RX is retrograde.
Mm,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. That is so weird. The RX of it all. What the fuck does that have to do with
Yeah.
the
Why
word
do they want you to
prescription?
retrograde? Because you're not really healing.
Yeah.
You're going backward when you take their pharmakia.
Which is sorcery. And if you just go back to the Smurfs of it all, what does the sorcery always get you when they go to get a potion? You get what you want immediately. You get the cure, but it's not the cure. It's like eventually you get the side effect.
Doesn't something about the Smurf seems like it have something to do with achrome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the humans drinking. Wait, that's gummy bears. But that too. The
Gummy bears for sure. Yes.
Holy shit. These
Yes.
humans get all
Gummy
strong and the gummy bears
bears.
are like bouncy.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere. That song will get so stuck in your head.
We just showed our age, but I was so happy in my heart when you were singing it. I was like, gummy bears.
I love that show. Saturday morning cartoons. That was like, I loved it when they weren't on all the time.
You know, sometimes I think of like these entities that like they call fear. Well, I like to think of them as entities, fear, sadness, whatever. I feel like they have its own virtue, you know? So it's like they have the ability to like take over you, you know?
They
So
do.
I like
Even
to think of,
sex is one
yeah,
too. They all are.
like I feel like that's why, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead. I lost my
Because
train of
she
thought.
said sex.
Sex.
Because sex
Titties.
too. Ooh, yes. And then you lost your train of thought.
It's like,
it's all entities. You have to like, it's like, yeah, you have to be the magician. You have to be the rider. You have to be the mage of yourself. And like, boom, my staff, my plants, you can make your own, like, whatever you want to call it, spells or protection. Okay, I like this rosemary and I like this oregano. I'm going to put it together and add like a drop of coconut oil. Hey, this is my protection spell for me with the intention behind it, you know? And you just wear it. That's it. What harm is that?
Well, how many people wear like saints around their neck or
Yeah.
in their
oh
car?
yeah, Saint Anthony.
Or
Oh.
how many people chant Hail Marys? Isn't that like the equivalent of some like chanting is such
It's
powerful magic.
ritual.
It's like
all
having
ritual.
like having a mantra. It's
Yeah.
like kind of a similar thing.
The Bible and Torah and the Quran talk about things being like ritualistic in a sense, is not the way like to really connect with God in a ritual sense. It's like more of a spiritual sense. It's like more inner. So we create these rituals that we feel like, oh, God is hoping that we just like light a candle for him. Like, he doesn't need you to light a fucking candle for him. Like, he doesn't need you to do that for him. Like, if he wants candles, he'll like, poof, he'll instantly will it. He doesn't need our candles. He needs our connection. He
Yeah,
needs that.
relationship.
Whatever, he, she, the being, whatever. I've never seen it personally. So I don't know. We can name it whatever we want until we meet him.
Do you think the wording is wrong in a way? And it's like
Maybe.
somewhere these entities, these Sasha Fierce, these Beyoncés, these like they've let their vessel be taken over. And so they're like a dead energy riding in a vessel where we're like living beings in this realm trying to figure out our magic with each other. Like we feel each other still, we have intuition, we have like they're on this script, this like forced LARP, and they're trying to force the flesh bodies, including us, all the time a little bit. That we're battling a spiritual battle all the time because they want to inhibit our flesh bodies. They want to make us scared of everything and scared of each other and
Yeah.
not trust our own intuition and think we're crazy and think that whatever, like, you know, forethought or one of your six senses, you know, because even that, all the shit they teach you in kindergarten's bullshit.
Chaney, they do it all for us. Everything that you were mentioning, from Hollywood to politics to whatever you fucking name it, who are they doing it for? They do it for us. Why do they do it for us? You got to understand that it's bigger than you guys can fathom. Like, they are not free, these people. Like she said, they're under a script, under a like whatever they have to do. It's like, you got to do it this way and that's it, or else. So they're not free, these elite that we call free. They're still under some kind of like
Hierarchy.
duty. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, all of that they do for us, but we still give back to them because it's like a loosh.
Everything I do it for you.
It's like We Are Truman shows. All of
Every
us. We're the
time in
Truman.
my head, right at that part you hit, I just Mary Stuart Masterson going. And that's what I picture. Oh
What
shit!
if-
That
Oh,
another showing our age.
Chaney, what
Welcome
if-
to the X generation. Sorry, what?
That's what's up.
What if this is like a realm where anything that you want to make real, like that movie, The Never Ending Story, by using your imagination, you can make it real? So then by saying like, oh, Sasha Fierce or the Black Madonna or whatever, they're just creating these beings and giving it an essence just by creating a thought of it. Because we are more special than we think we are. I know that for a fact. We don't give ourselves enough credit. So what if that's the thing? This is the realm where our thoughts can give life to ideas that we think of. And this is what this realm is, like in Barbie, you know?
Well, yeah, like even the Toltecs, they talk about the assemblage point, and that everything, every reality, every dimension, you know, every possibility is just a shift of this thing that everybody has called the assemblage point. So it's like if you think of it like a dial on a clock, like Abbie, that's a female, that's a bodybuilder, is at 420, but maybe Abbie, who's like the corporate CEO, is at 720, on the clock.
Mm,
So they're all related, but like they say that the whole goal is to have a shift shift your assemblage point, and that's why they call it stalking. Like, because the more that you practice like pretending to be other things, the more that you make that flexible and you can shift between realities. And that's essentially what they're doing. I mean, if they're not conjuring if they're not being a walk-in for something, it's almost like they're shifting their assemblage point and becoming that thing while they do
yeah.
it.
It's
It's
so
a different form of magic.
Yeah.
But a lot of these pop stars have been accused, not just Beyonce, like a lot of them have been accused of doing magic by their like dancers or by
Yeah.
their musicians in their band. And even remember, what's that fat girl's name? Lizzo.
Lizzo.
Remember she was making her like dancers do weird rituals. and then calling
Yeah.
up, like, shaming them, like, and then to boot calling them fat.
Yeah. The
How
fuck?
can you imagine the timeline? I've had somebody say to me once, and they were a big person. They were a large woman, and they put their arm around me and said, "Chaney, us big girls got to stick together." And I was like, it would be the like equivalent if Lizzo did it to me. I was like, have you ever had somebody show you like, "Oh my God, you look just like my cousin," and then you see the picture and you're like, that person is so ugly.
See, and
That's
I'm
how
the
that
opposite.
I
I'm like,
felt.
I'm better looking in real life, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm better in person, I think.
You are. You're
I
beautiful.
I just think it's
I think
funny,
you guys
like
are all beautiful in real life. I love seeing. I'm so
Yeah,
excited to get to see your faces soon. Sorry to
I
change the subject,
know. I
but I have to
booked
go.
my
real quick,
ticket.
this is a perfect time. I'm glad you said that real fast because time flies
So
when you're
excited.
having fun. If you guys go to brogrove.com, if you're going to be in Florida October 25th and 26th and want to hang out with a whole group of conspiracy and esoteric minded people, it's like a great lineup from Revenge of the Sis to the Tower Gang, Liberty Lockdown, Paranoid American, One on One, Donut Me. You can go to brogrove.com and get tickets. If you're not going to be in Florida at all, you can just stream it if you want. And it will probably be really inexpensive to get like 2 days of entertainment. Otherwise, we're all going to be there hanging out, and it's at a smoke friendly environment. There'll also be drinks. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere in Florida, but there are hotels and everything around. So, yeah, you guys should definitely come out and go to brogrove.com and follow all the people that are going to be on there because they're posting tons of fun stuff. And there's going to be stand-up comics. And yeah, you never know what else. Like Thomas will be there with all his merch, and he has some rad shit, and there'll be shit you can only get there. So yeah,
It's gonna
shout
be
out to
fun.
that and come see us. It will be really fun.
Yes. Don't be weird. I'm gonna say it every episode. Don't be weird though.
Don't be a weirdo. Don't be a weirdo. Layla will let you know.
I mean,
Don't
if you're
be weird.
weird, that's fine, but don't be a weirdo.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
like
can be extra weird. We're okay with weird,
just
but don't
don't
be
be
a fucking
okay.
weirdo.
Don't be fucking creepy.
Don't be a creep.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Don't be a creep.
Don't.
Yeah. But it is kind of a sausage fest. I'm going to be real. If you're a lady out
Fine.
there and you're like, I wish I could find a good, this my person that believes in all this kind of stuff. This would be a sausage fest of a place you might be able to find that dude. And a lot of these dudes, like, they got shit going
Hey.
on. Like, they got their own land shit going on. They got
Okay.
their, like,
I like that.
own companies, good jobs. Like, they're good, patriotic. They give a fuck about their neighbors and their children, and if they have children, if they're married, they're like good spouses. I don't know, I big up all the dudes there, so I really
Nice.
think it's a great place to maybe hang out and meet some friends and whatever. So the first one was really fun and turned out a lot bigger than we thought, so maybe this one will even be bigger, and who knows. So yada
Awesome.
yada yada.
I'm excited.
What else is going on? I did have other people on the witch list. We talked about the Kardashians. Lady Gaga, she seems like a low-level brainwashed witch to me, even though she, I think, has done rituals where people are like, she killed her friend and took the essence of her friend and yada yada. That was her friend's thing. I kind of feel like that about like the amount of people that have been through Destiny's Child in a way. Like it does
Yeah.
seem like some kind of like succubus or incubus energy that some of these people possess. Or even Beyonce to Jay-Z. That's a weird relationship that seems dark
Yeah.
arts.
Yeah. What do you think about the twins? The Olsens.
Definitely dark witches because they were also like the first on the scene at Heath Ledger's death.
Oh shit.
And Heath Ledger, like the last movie he did, there's so much symbolism in it. It like when I was going to do a breakdown of it, I implore anyone, I don't even know the movie name. I could probably pull some clips and find it pretty quick. It really made my head do a thing. Like it was too much almost. Like, oh my gosh, like they just set this guy up. They knew they were going to kill him in this movie. I even think
Really?
there's a scene where he's hanging in like a black and white Joker outfit with a clown outfit with a noose around his neck. like weird symbolism. And one of the Olsen twins was the first on the scene of his
How-
death before they called the cops.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
How
I
ironic.
do remember that.
Yeah,
Was Brittany
so,
Murphy a witch, or was she not a witch?
I don't know. R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
For real, because she died in Britney Spears' house, which then it makes me
Yeah.
think, not Britney Spears' house. Brittany Murphy lived there after Britney Spears lived there. But Britney Spears, the rumor is that she moved out because she felt a creepy energy there. And then I would go into the Left Eye Lopez of it all, where the kid died with the same last name. You
Yeah.
almost wonder if the energy somewhere that was meant for Britney Spears got Brittany Murphy. It's weird. That's weird shit to me. Like
It really
everything
is.
about it. And then there is other rumors that Brittany Murphy was backing a project that her man was doing with his best friend, and they were going to put together like a Hollywood style investigative film on 9/11. And the boyfriend and the best friend also die of the same exact weird pneumonia that Britney Spears or Brittany Murphy dies from.
Yeah.
What a weird world they live in. It's so different from ours. Like, so different.
Remember when you're a kid and you just want to be famous?
I don't want to be famous.
think
When you think
that-
about
I
it,
always
all
wanted
the
to.
That's on
handlers-
purpose.
Yeah.
They do that on purpose. American Idol, turning the chair, doing all these things. Even the serial killers, they tell us, want to have their name in lights, when I would say the serial killers are all them. Like all
Yeah.
the serial
Yeah.
killers are somehow MK Ultra victims. They were Berkeley experiments. They were going to be politicians themselves, or did actually succeed at becoming politicians or actors. Maybe Robin Williams. But that, I'm sorry, I don't want to get off track. I was going to ask you guys too. Did you see all the videos of Tom Brady talking about how he wouldn't have won a Super Bowl because his wife was a witch, Giselle Bundchen?
Oh, yeah.
And that she made him go through all these rituals all the time. And then immediately, once they're getting a divorce, he becomes a Buccaneer.
How interesting. And it got really ugly, too.
And I would also say there's really dark magic going on around the Patriots, Robert Kraft and Aaron Hernandez. I can't get it out of my head since I first saw that trial back when. Something about the way, like how scared Aaron Hernandez was when Robert Kraft walked in the courtroom, like the whole entire thing. And then later on, you find Robert Kraft, he gets involved in this whole human trafficking that is just a massage parlor scandal that he ends up getting out of later on. And all the men that were involved in the scandal end up getting off later on because Robert Kraft had money to scare the shit out of any lawyer, politician, or police officer trying to pursue the case. So all these women that were human trafficked from other countries, who their passports were being kept, and they were working at massage parlors in the state of Florida, but all over the country. The sting operation didn't just happen here. And Robert Kraft got away with it. And he was one of the Johns involved in the case. But it was hundreds of dudes. And Florida was just one of the places that it went down. And so I don't know. I just think there's so many creepy things. And something about the Aaron Hernandez and all that stuff. When we're talking about Diddy and we're talking about rituals and we're talking about all this shit, if you don't think it's happening to LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, like all these athletes too,
They're all
crazy.
gay.
You're
They're all
crazy.
gay. They're all gay.
They're
all gay.
I wish when you said that, like my fucking camera shattered.
Gay?
Like you said it with such a veracity. Like I wish something would have happened to the screen. Like it was perfect. Timestamp that.
Speaking of like the human trafficking of it all, can we big up Daddy Trump here and talk about the executive orders you posted about the other day?
Well, I know they're really old executive orders too. And so
Don't
I
eat the
Super
cats.
relevant
Don't
though,
eat
right?
The dogs.
I
Don't
do
eat the
think a
cats.
lot of people should go and look them up. I will I want to read you the exact numbers of the two that I posted this time because they were in a post specific to how much did we text, Abbie?
I don't know. It
Well,
was
like,
probably
I'll
not in
find
there.
this-
You posted on Instagram. I did put on my
No, but I
story.
thought you sent me a message and asked me, "What's this?" Was it not you that sent that? Maybe you
Well,
didn't send it.
no, I
Was
actually
it
just
me?
I
The
just
one
looked them
about,
up
like,
and reposted
the
it.
cats in 2018, like
Oh,
he
I never
signed a
sent me
bill.
that.
See if I can re-put it on my story.
He signed the
Okay,
bill.
it's Executive Order 13818 and Executive Order 13903. And so one of them is everything about like human trafficking and all this digital images and everything that attaches. And the other one is all like a RICO Act essentially on human trafficking. That if you get caught doing it or you're complicit to somebody else doing it and you're giving them money somewhere, that all your
Your
wealth, all your
assets,
money, all your
all of
assets
it.
gets taken from you. So it's like a RICO Act on these things. So these are two executive orders I think everybody needs to look into because I don't understand why the Biden administration wouldn't change these.
Mm,
So
I know.
I just think it's wild. So
It is wild, especially because we're seeing that with P. Diddy right now. Like, they're like, oh, they took all his money and took all his. Well, there you go. It's in an executive order.
And how these RICO acts are happening is when Epstein and Ghislaine, when all that first happened with Epstein, they couldn't try Ghislaine on that information. There was weird shit that all of them, New York let them get away with. So I believe it's either Kevin Spacey's information, one of these people turned heel. Like even the way they're getting Diddy, it's not because Diddy's a new Epstein. It's because they're part of the same clique, like
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner. They're all part of the same clique. There's just all these honey traps all over. Peter Nygaard, like all these different islands. The Virgin
Different heads of the
airline
Hydra.
guy.
Yeah.
What's that? Richard Branson. Like they're all these different dudes that are all doing the same thing. And the more blackmail that's on them and the more they play ball, they just become a drug dealer of humans and a drug dealer of kink and a drug dealer of like
mainly women.
demoralization. And so it's just levels of blackmail. So more control is there. But they're also doing rituals with things. That this is why it's all in the magic episode that we're talking about this, because they're convincing you, like making the band. That's P. Diddy and MTV and every kid. Why does every kid want to be famous? Because they're all growing up on TRL and MTV and Video Killed the Radio Star. And so MTV, MK Ultra TV is all part of this spell over the youth. And so rocking the vote or die, this is where it's like, what?
Yeah.
What? This is all P. Diddy stuff, but it's all Democratic push campaigns to get the youth to like stand up and vote for a president who plays the saxophone.
So wild. So wild.
Or Obama. Or that's where Oprah, like her being a witch with her favorite things, she just comes out overnight and she's like, and this is my favorite thing. And she picks a president. And everyone in America is like, Oprah likes him. We love him. Because we've been buying her favorite things for Christmas. Like she's the goddamn Santa Claus, which is
She's
a whole
the only
spell.
one on the cover of her magazine ever. The Oprah magazine. And she's on the cover of, like, how?
Harpo Entertainment, which is her name backwards, which is also her husband in The Color Purple. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
His
It's
name
not
was
a spell.
Harpo?
Yeah.
How did I not? It's been a long time since
I
seen
swore I'd never let a man hit me. That's like an Oprah Winfrey, and Harpo hits her.
What about Barbara Streisand?
Witch.
She's like a hidden one. And then, we forgot the main one, ex-wife of Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman.
Oh my gosh. She's a high witch.
Yeah.
She's probably Australia's highest witch, I would say, unless there's a lady we don't know about.
The Grand High Witch.
If you look up Nicole Kidman's family and how dark they are, and I think psychiatry is like witchcraft. I don't know what I like.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how I feel about any of that.
Witches of
But a lot of
England.
these people, like her family is dark, and you can find just as many like Sarah Ashcraft type people that, that's a person that calls out like Tom Hanks. You can find just as many of these type people about Nicole Kidman that like they said like they were being tortured by Nicole Kidman's dad, and she was like a little sadistic 13-year-old girl and would go by and laugh at them.
Yeah. I wonder if like there's a coven of the same level of witches, like Nicole Kidman, fucking Angelina Jolie, all these like Hollywood genre of actresses. Like I wonder if they're all on the same level of like degrees of like the Eastern
Do they
Star
have to
of it
play
all.
a witch?
Yeah.
So then you think of like Bette Midler, like Hocus Pocus. Like you think of the actresses that actually play a witch in movies, like Nicole Kidman played a witch because she was
Yeah.
in Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock.
What
Yes.
about
So-
Angelica Houston? Did you guys ever watch The Witches? She was the Grand High Witch.
And wasn't Angelica Houston also in the Addams Family?
Yeah.
Morticia.
Yep. She was Morticia, but she like in The Witches. I mean that movie is pretty dark, but it's a Road Doll thing, I think. Or what's his? Yeah. No, the one who wrote Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
I think dancing, yoga, like
And
I
then
don't
we
want
have actual admissions too, like Megan Fox, like talking about, oh, we only drink each other's blood for ritual.
or Angelina
She's telling
Jolie
you
and Billy
guys,
Bob.
yeah, that's a ritual. They're wearing each other's blood in a vial on their neck. They're telling you straight up
Fucking weird,
that they
yo.
do
Or
magic.
They're
That they're
moon
freaking
children, like they're planned conception dates around
Yeah.
certain things.
Dude. And like, you know, this whole
So Sandra
surrogate
Bullock,
thing, like what if they go as deep as to like finding like certain DNA of people and like only allowing certain, not just blood, but like the DNA of people, they go that deep to see if like they have certain DNA traits that maybe their child can absorb through the surrogate, through the portal. I wonder if
wish
they
you
go
guys-
that deep.
I wish you guys would watch that show Evil, because it goes into the whole in vitro fertilization of it all and messing with the embryos to do that.
This is so wild too, because everybody always is like, let's talk about cucks, you know, where it's like Justin Trudeau from Canada is Castro's kid and all these people that are other people's kids and passed around. What about if there's some sort of ritual with that? Like there's some sort of ritual with being an Elon where you're impregnating all these different wombs, like John of God. What? His name was, they were calling him John of God,
John of God,
Oprah's
yeah.
best friend, and he was running a baby factory. And you're telling me Oprah's school in Africa isn't a baby factory? Okay.
Yeah. And what was
Okay.
that?
And then the Clintons were kind of probably trying to set up the same thing in Haiti, but that's just probably me guessing, Laura Silsby, you little child
Wasn't
thief.
there like a mini documentary with that guy in Canada with those women, I think black women, where he would like literally impregnate them so he could take the fetus and like use its parts for his like anti-aging reasoning or whatever, some sick fucker. Like I forgot his name. I think you mentioned him.
This is a good question. Is Cher a stronger witch than Madonna?
Ooh, the tranny? I don't know.
I think so.
Warlock
I think
and
Cher
witch.
is a high witch.
I do too.
I think Cher's a warlock.
She even took Anthony Kiedis's virginity when he was a child.
I
Cher.
know.
And witches, they always put that thing of like, he, witches love children. And, you know, it made me think of, I wonder if I downloaded this video, if I can pull it up on here. Because I always think, you know, it might get me pulled down. I'll just tell you about it, that I always just thought it was the craziest video that SNL put up. And you can find it on my page, or I'll post it in the Project Chaney Telegram and that link somewhere on this channel. Remember when one of the actresses on Saturday Night Live dressed up for the Weekend Update as like the witch from the Wizard of Oz, like Green Witch, and she's like, ooh hoo hoo, evil, the QAnon witches, and the QAnons think we're eating children, and and they started mocking all this magic and witchcraft and mixing it with Q. It was a really strange.
I think I just
like,
saw that today.
I
So it's
posted
weird.
it on my
Okay,
story.
So I
because-
did see it today. I was like, what?
I was going through my
How are
own
you
Church of
talking about
Hollywood
this?
posts and I was like, I should go through all of them from the beginning and repost them with a brand new hashtag. Because
Yeah.
the shit part is I've lost some accounts from other things that I've done, or
Yeah.
like put it from other accounts that I have, like Project Chaney had them. So I don't know. We'll see how I'll weave it all together again. Or I'm just going to make TikTok videos out of all of it. And then repost it on Instagram with the TikTok video of me going like this, because for some reason this is what TikTok wants. Me pointing at it. I can't put up the information. They won't show it to anyone. But if I go on the screen and I point at it and talk a little, then they'll let people see it. It's garbage. I used to mock people that just did this at videos. And then now I'm like, I have to at least say something over it. I have to add to it. I can't just fucking point at the video and she nod my fucking head in agreement with Rosie O'Donnell. Anyways, yeah. The witchcraft, the Hollywood of it all. Do you guys want to talk about anyone else? Disney
No.
magic? Or is that a whole nother big episode? We could kind of cut it short tonight because I do have to make a long drive soon to meet Thomas at the Ocala Comic Con. So if you are in Florida, do come out and I will be there working and hanging out. And yeah, it'll be a good time. So do you guys have anything going on this week that you want to tell everyone about? Or this weekend? I guess we will see them Sunday.
No, not me.
Me either.
Just
man.
work and other projects, but we'll talk about that another time once it gets going.
Well, you guys, it was an impromptu show. It was just kind of thrown together. But I
It
knew
was
I had
good though.
enough.
Shoot.
I knew I had enough on deck, and I knew you guys did too, from just us talking shit in the last. And you know, everybody's going to be diddying their face off, and I think it's all attached to bigger things that when you're ready to
Do the
look in that
diddy diddy if
direction,
you
this is kind
want
of what
to.
they're up to. They're not doing it for just money. Like power is the thing that they crave. And it's weird.
Oh
The whole
shit!
thing's so dark. What?
You know that song "Diddy" by Paperboy? Ditty.
No.
Do the diddy diddy if you want to, because then I can see if I want you. Just do the diddy diddy. It was a '90s like hip hop video. Anyway, I wonder if that was about Diddy.
Do the ditty.
I don't know.
Now
I
I'm
do
gonna have
like
to listen to it
how
with a new filter.
everybody's little eagle eye are pulling out every Diddy interview now, every creepy thing they remember. And it's just like, this is where I think even in your blackest pill where you're like, nothing's going to happen. He's just going to be able to get out and walk the streets again.
I don't know about.
Batman. Do you think he'll be able to walk the streets again? He might get out. They might let him away with it. Do you think he's going to be able to party at a New York fucking club again? I don't think so. I think some of these people aren't like, I don't think Bill Gates can walk in my town without getting pie in the face.
Yeah. At this
He might
point,
never need to. He can lock himself in his fucking castle until the cows come home or go into Hollow Earth, whatever their thing, whatever their weird plan they're up to. But I just kind of am like, and like you, like Layla was saying, or Abbie, like all this shit, all this MK Ultra, all this like CIA and shaming and looshing and bullshit. What in the fuck is so important about us? What are they searching for so desperately with 23andMe? What are they fucking searching for? And yes, Betty White is a witch, and I killed that bitch.
Period.
Oh my fuck. And I think the queen cost me my spleen, but that is Hollywood Witches Part 2. Anyways, you guys are always fun and we love you so much, and we will be back Sunday. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. My alt mat.
Love you guys. No.
Okay, well, bye.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally. intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.